Minion in! What's up, you guys? Today, January 14th, server maintenance will bring about some changes. And if you haven't heard or read about them yet, here's the highlights.
Come for the game, stay for the commentary.
Ain't nothing but a seat then, baby.
First off, it's the beginning of the Market Street event, which will last until the 18th. That means increased reputation gain all around, reduced telepost and market fees, and increased starseed exchange rates. Dust off your seed alts and take advantage of this while you can. Now for the less temporary changes. As was announced previously for the PC version of Bless Unleashed, click this card, dungeon entry level requirements are being dropped. Not all of them, but if you're below level 30, you'll have an easier time getting into dungeons earlier. That's good news. This goes for dungeons, layers, and arenas. In other news, some NPC locations are being moved around. Do you guys remember when they did this before? I stood where the storage NPC used to spawn in Karzakor for like 8 minutes going, when is this guy going to show up? And he was behind me across the plaza the whole time. Get ready to see some confused people. Honestly, NPC placement in Karzakor is a mess right now, so it'll be nice to see that straightened up and made a little more efficient. Some of this does feel like an attempt to increase efficiency, and some of it seems like dumbing things down for some people, like making Poe and Camus, the pathers just south of the old amphitheater, stationary, no more walking around. Who was having trouble finding them? Monster density is being adjusted in some areas. Like the crawling labyrinth will be less saturated with mole crickets, for example. And a little dumbing down in this area too. The tutorial dungeon will have less monsters. Was this really an issue for some people? The tutorial dungeon had to be made easier? Here's a place to learn and practice how combat works, now featuring less combat. Some monsters are getting slight AI behavior adjustments to make them seem more natural. Keep an eye on boars, specifically the big one in Canis Mountains, to see if you can spot improvements. Across the world map, some side quests will be available sooner than they used to be. There is a slight skills overhaul, like the ranger skill Fire from Above will apparently not glitch into visually going on forever or not at all anymore. But most important to these changes seems to be the way elemental damage works. Especially when it comes to the effects of elemental damage in PvP, this is worth looking out for. Berserkers going into rage mode won't be knocked down by other classes anymore. Good news for Zerkers. You know what I'm excited about? Subcategories in the marketplace. It's no search feature, but presumably this is going to make things easier to find. Less scrolling is always good. And if you've been hunting the new rare species Golden Spectral Stag, you'll be delighted to know that the rare species trap will work on them now. Also, the chance of a tamed animal becoming a mount has been increased. By how much? Well, we'll see. But if you look at how things are normally adjusted in this game, it's either going to be so slight that it doesn't matter at all, or so much that now all of your tames are mounts, and in about a week they'll dial it back. Place your bets! All in all, these sound like great changes. Looking forward to seeing them in action. See you guys in game. Minion out.
If you're fucking happy and you motherfucking know it, clap your motherfucking hands. If you're fucking happy and you motherfucking know it, clap your motherfucking hands. If you're fucking happy and you motherfucking know it, and you really motherfucking wanna motherfucking show it. If you're motherfucking happy and you motherfucking know it, clap your motherfucking hands.
Just swim, dude, just swim.